China and the United States have agreed a framework deal for a trade agreement, raising hopes of an end to their ongoing trade war. It's aimed at accelerating the export of rare earth minerals from China to the United States. In return, Washington will remove what the Trump administration has referred to as countermeasures. At its peak, tariffs on both sides reached triple figures, upending global supply chains and impacting a wide range of industries.
We hope the US will work with China to implement the important consensus reached during a phone call between the two heads of state. We should leverage the economic and trade consultation mechanism, enhance mutual understanding through communication and dialogue, reduce misunderstandings, and promote the stable, healthy and sustainable development of China-US relations.
Our correspondent Wang Menjie has more from Beijing.
Well, on China's agreement with the U.S., both the Chinese Foreign Ministry and the China's Ministry of Commerce stressed that China expects the U.S. to meet its halfway, leverage the China-U.S. economic and trade consultation mechanism more effectively, enhance mutual understanding, strengthen cooperation, and jointly promote healthy, stable, and sustainable development of bilateral economic and trade relations. According to China's Ministry of Commerce, China and the United States have maintained close communication following their London meetings. Upon approval, the two sides further finalized the details of the framework recently. China will process export applications for controlled items that meet regulatory conditions in accordance with the law, while the U.S. will reciprocally remove a series of restrictive measures imposed on China. During his trip, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi will visit the EU headquarters and hold the 13th round of China-EU high-level strategic dialogue, visit Germany and hold the 8th round of China-Germany strategic dialogue on diplomacy and security, and visit France for talks with the French Foreign Minister, and hold the meeting of the China-France high-level dialogue mechanism on people-to-people exchanges. While in Brussels, Wang will meet and have talks with the Belgian Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, respectively. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the EU, presenting important opportunities for the development of China and EU relations. According to Chinese Foreign Ministry, the Foreign Minister Wang Yi's visit will exchange views with the European side on China-EU relations and major international and regional issues, summarize the 50-year development of experience of China-EU relations and enhance understanding and mutual trust, consolidate cooperation consensus, probably handle differences, and prepare for the leaders' exchanges in the next step.
So let's get the picture from Washington, and we're joined by our correspondent Jagruti Dave. Hello, Jagruti. Has the White House actually released any more details on what has been agreed between China and the US?
Well, Sally, we haven't heard anything from the White House, but we have been hearing from Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, who's been speaking to Fox Business, and he has said that I am confident now, as agreed, that magnets will flow, and he's saying that this deal is a de-escalation under the leadership of Donald Trump. So whilst we don't know that much about what has been agreed in this trade deal, it does signal a shift in the trade tensions between the two sides. The United States is claiming that China is not exporting enough rare earth materials. It controls around 90% of the global processing of the global supply of this substance, which is an essential element in a number of major industries, from automobiles to aeroplanes. And so, you know, Donald Trump has been talking about this, saying that there has been a deal that's been signed. He said this on Thursday, and then he suggested that there would be India would be opening up as well. Howard Lutnick earlier in that interview with Bloomberg, where he said that this deal had been done, said that there would be trade deals with 10 other trading partners in the pipeline. So this is clearly a part of the Trump administration strategy, using tariffs as a negotiating tool, the efficacy of which is hugely debated, but there is clearly finally hear some movement on that front between these two superpowers, the US and China, where there had been quite elevated tensions on the trade front until now.
Yeah, so some success on the international front for Donald Trump, but of course domestically, his so-called big, beautiful bill hitting quite a roadblock in Senate. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this bill is causing quite a lot of dissent among Republicans. And one of the key issues here is that Republicans who want to get this bill through are trying to get it through the Senate in such a way that would avoid the filibuster, essentially stop Democrats from being able to block it or raise objections to it. But in order for that to happen, the bill has to pass a certain threshold of the rule of Senate rules. And that, according to the Senate official who shepherds this bill, who oversees the rules, this bill is not passing those rules that would allow it to pass without Democrats being able to block it. And so certain provisions are being refused by this Senate official, and one of those involves slashes to funding for Medicaid, the government-funded health insurance program. And so this is a real problem. There are several other provisions as well, but this is just one example that's causing a lot of headache for those Republicans who want it to pass, and want it to pass for that July 4th deadline, which Donald Trump has set, by which time he would like to enact this bill.